Hurricane season officially begins next week. Meteorologists already predicting this year's season will be above average.
Yeah, and flooding always a concern in the valley. Channel 5's Taylor Winkle spoke with Hidalgo County Precinct 1 officials about what they're doing to prepare.
Precinct 1 Commissioner David Fuentes tells us they've made some changes they hope will keep people living in Precinct 1 a little drier this storm season. The neighborhood of Indian Hills sits north of Mercedes. It's dry today, but this was the scene this time last year. So flooded, people living here are still recovering from it today.
Oh yeah, you can see where it went under the house.
Indian Hills, just one of the many colonias in Precinct 1 that was missing a component for flood control.
Yes, mainly this street. The flooding starts in all this area. We have trouble getting out. It's like a lagoon. Here where you turn it gets flooded a lot.
Indian Hills was the very first project that we engaged in.
Precinct 1 Commissioner David Fuentes says they've played catch-up, trying to rectify flood, sewer, and drainage issues since he took office back in January of 2017.
We've constructed and we've added components of drainage to 33 different projects over the last year and a half.
Gonzales Road in Progreso, Wayland Road between Donna and Alamo, additional drainage capacity between La Villa and Alamo, and right now, crews are chipping away here at Valdez Road in Monte Alto, digging ditches and connecting drainage to an area that's never seen it before they start to pave.
You know, one of our primary focuses is that when we fix a road, if the water sits on that road, it's going to destroy it. So the first question I asked is like, okay, well, where's the drainage?
Fuentes says they're working to fix roads as fast as they can, but making sure drainage is good to go first makes the process take a little longer.
I fixed a little so that the water would flow that way. But either way, still a lot of water stays and goes in there. Everything gets destroyed. The water level goes up high and goes in there.
Another project they're working on.
So we're trying to identify those first and say, okay, let's try to at least keep the water out of their houses.
Keeping floodwaters out of your home, something Indian Hills resident Guadalupe Vasquez is still dealing with. Last year, he dug this ditch in an attempt to drain his own yard.
But when we have water inside houses, then now you start talking about damage to structures. And again, if they're having that, then they're going to have significant financial losses, and we want to try to minimize that.
Here in Indian Hills, residents tell us they're happy the precinct cleaned up their drainage system and paved the road this year, but there hasn't been a lot of rain to test it out. They're still concerned for what hurricane season might bring. Fuentes says with close to 300 colonias in Precinct 1, there's a lot of work ahead of them. He says it's more than can be done at one time, but they've prioritized flooding homes and effective drainage first. In the studio, Taylor Winkle, Channel 5 News at 6.